Thank you for learning Siebel with the Siebel Hub. We have a unique, comprehensive and always up-to-date collection of Siebel CRM 2021 training classes. We can deliver live online and on-site training in the highest quality with the most experienced instructors. And we also offer a unique modular Siebel CRM 20 and 21 training. Follow the links in the description or on this slide to learn more and learn Siebel with the Siebel Hub. Hey, welcome to this Siebel CRM update. It's June 2021, and on 22nd of June, Oracle has released the 21.6 update. So let's take a look at what this update has. The biggest highlight of this and the only feature that is announced in the release notes as a feature is the Siebel Commerce REST API, and we take a look at that. The REST API in general has several enhancements. More objects are made available, including loyalty, business objects, and business services. And there's a small change in a parameter name. We'll take a look at this one. The mobile application framework used for the mobile container app was upgraded to 2.6.3. Bookshelf changes, among other changes in Bookshelf, there's the deployment guide for Docker images now in Bookshelf, and Tomcat gets an update to 9.0.44. So let's take a closer look at the Siebel Commerce REST API, which is the name Oracle uses in the release notes. It has DX4C in brackets here. So if you haven't heard about DX4C, there's a link you can follow also in the description. DX4C is Oracle's latest addition to Oracle Cloud Applications. It's digital experience for communications, allowing telco corporations to use a broad array of functionality in a modern framework in the Oracle Cloud. The interesting part is that Siebel CRM is acting as a backend to this cloud service. So Siebel CRM is, as we speak, running in the Oracle Cloud in a special architecture, in a cloud-native architecture. And this version of Siebel CRM has been enhanced in several aspects, including the REST API, and among other things, the customer order management, workflow processes, and business services have been made more accessible via REST API and standardized. So this has been done by Oracle to that back-end Siebel CRM, and now it surfaces in the on-premises Siebel CRM offering. So customers can use the enhanced REST API for telco or for order management, if you will, to build shopping cart solutions, to build product catalog, checkout solutions, to build services or apps around asset-based ordering and promotions and so forth. So if you want to read up on DX4C and Siebel CRM, there's actually one document that literally mentions Siebel as the backend for this. This is the executive paper on DX4C. So a Google search with Siebel and DX4C will yield a variety of articles, and including that PDF document. Let's just take a look. So this is a 4-page document, and it describes DX4C in an executive manner. And there is a section, the applicability to Siebel customers. So here it says that DX4C combines digital experience with key industry-specific capabilities from Siebel, which has been the primary CX CRM platform running at scale in hundreds of Tier 1, Tier 2 CSPs globally in the past 10 plus years. So that's a bit of an understatement, but yes. Siebel is the #1 on-premises platform chosen by telcos around the globe. And so it's a good choice of Oracle to use these capabilities of Siebel in the order management and product management realm as a backend service for the new DX4C applications. The technical implementation of the Telco REST API in 21.6 is a few changes that are required to make the integration objects and workflow processes and business services work better. The changes include, as documented in the REST API guide now, adding several high-profile business services, including Workflow Process Manager, to the business service access list, which controls or limits access to business services by responsibilities. This is required for accessing them through the REST API. And the seed data, according to the release notes, the seed data included in when you do an upgrade to 21.6 and higher. An upgrade is when you upgrade from pre-IP17 to 21.6 or higher. This is not an update, it's an upgrade we're talking about. So then the seed data will include these changes, obviously. I didn't have time to test that, but those will only include vanilla responsibilities. The release notes list Siebel administrator, web anonymous user, and web registered user. So if you limit for example, access to the Workflow Process Manager business service to only users who have one of these three responsibilities, then boom, yeah, you have a problem. And so you either must act upon this. If you know about this from the release notes, you are upgrading from pre-IP17 to 21.6, you must act upon this. The easiest choice is you're not using DX4C capabilities or the new Commerce REST API, you're not using it. Just remove those business services from the access list, and that's what Oracle recommends here. Or if you want to explore the capabilities or start using them, you need to include custom responsibilities to allow access to these services for other users that don't have one of these three responsibilities. Here I've been opening the new REST API guide for 21.6, and it has a new chapter using Siebel REST API for Siebel Telco. So that's the name used in the bookshelf. It's not Siebel Commerce REST API here. Yeah, speaking of those business services, the very first step really to configure the Siebel Telco business services is to, well, go to the business service access view and literally add these business services to the access list. And then of course you will not only add these responsibilities, but also responsibilities that Oracle marks as an optional tasks, add other custom responsibilities, because otherwise no one except people with these three responsibilities above could access things like Workflow Process Manager, and that really is a big issue if you don't take care here. The rest of the REST guide describes various scenarios, use cases, and provides us with REST examples. And yeah, the most intriguing part is really that, well, it's not really a new API, so it's a business service API, all right. But now, let's say in the official documentation, Workflow Process Manager is one of the services we call through the REST API. Not that it has been impossible before 21.6. Okay, speaking of bookshelf, if you look into the bookshelf guides list, there's a new guide in the list. And it's not a classic bookshelf document, it's the former Oracle Learning Library document, OLL, for deploying Siebel CRM using Docker images on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure with vanilla database. Now that sounds tasty. That means if you are an Oracle Cloud customer, you can go to the marketplace and launch an instance that includes a Jenkins Blue Ocean implementation. And if you have several options there, but it literally allows you to very quickly choose what version of Siebel you want to deploy in an initial enterprise configuration. And the Jenkins script will download all the necessary images from the Oracle Docker registry and then instantiate those images as Docker machines. And you have a running enterprise in less than an hour on this OCI instance. And this guide goes along with this marketplace offering, which has in place for several years now. And so here we go. There's the deploying Siebel CRM using Docker image on OCI with vanilla database UI. So if you follow that link, it's not what you expect, not a bookshelf document. It's that OLL guide. Okay, just a reminder that the update, not upgrade, to 21.x includes some mandatory steps. So if you have any version between 17.0 and 21.5 that you want to update to 21.6, of course you need to run the MDE installer. The modular deployment engine applies the binary updates. It will update third-party software depending on where you come from. This will include Zookeeper. It's also mandatory to run the post-install database update, which is part of the MDE automatically, or you run it manually. So here is the result of that repository upgrade. It is a new integration workspace occur, and I've taken the liberty of using the Siebel tools comparison of workspaces between that integration Siebel update integration workspace and main 0 on this environment, and it gives me a nice overview of the differences that are not only in 21.6. This is cumulative over 1 year worth of repository upgrades. And so, for example, we find the Siebel ERM application being active now and being refreshed for Siebel OpenUI, which has been added in 21.1. We see several changes to business components. So it's interesting to, look that up and see that there are a lot of changes made. And if you look into the workflows, it looks like there are a lot of changes made to workflow processes for the Commerce REST API. But actually, it's just that the repository upgrade seems to, force an activation of these workflows, including a lot of the workflows related to order management, products, and promotions. And in development environments, if you make any repository changes through the repository upgrade or applying configuration instructions, you need, of course, to test and deliver those. And if you have to do any administrative changes, you have to do those. But if you don't have any of these, the update is a fast track. Run the MDE, run the post installer manually or automatically, and you're done. But if you have more tasks at hand, of course, the process takes a bit longer. And our environments receive the repository changes through the migration application. So after they have been updated and post-install database has been run, you can run the migration application incrementally, and then you only have to apply the administrative changes that apply to your test or production environments. Okay, that's it with our quick update for 21.6. Exciting times for customers using order management and maybe looking into DX4C. See you around next time. Thank you and bye-bye.